the best fans in the NFL. So we're excited to be able to play at home with them. During the bye week, we did a lot of self-scout to see exactly what we can improve on, which was good to look at, to be able to step back from afar and say, this is some things that we need to work on, these are some things that we're doing really well at. And we're excited about some of the things that we're going to have going into this game. Quality opponent. I mean, obviously the quarterback, man, he has taken this league by storm by some of the things he can do, the way he operates, his calm demeanor, his accuracy, his ability to exactly know where the matchup's at and get the ball to that player. And then they have a receiver who I think is one of the top receivers in this league. He is highly competitive, played against this player before. So we have to do a good job on him. We have to do a good job in general because this offense gives you a lot of eye candy to make sure that you're not on your P's and Q's, and then they just run simple concepts, which offensively you like because it's really easy for your players. So looking forward to the challenge. It'll be a good game. Now guys be ready to play. Any questions?
Lose your voice from all those Zoom calls this weekend?
No, that had nothing to do with it. It's just, I guess, just what happens at this time of year when it gets cold outside. Detroit did that.
Job interviews out of the way. You've interviewed for so many the last 3 years. How much better did you maybe feel prepared for this round? And do you ever get questions in those interviews that maybe change the way you think about coaching and leadership in general?
I think you learn a number of things from each year that you go through them, and you try to improve on those each year. But I think the one thing that I get out of all these interviews is, man, I'm going to be myself. And either you like it or you don't. If you don't, all good. I keep telling you that I have a great job here. And if you like it, if it's an opportunity I think that's best for me and my family, then we'll take a look at it. But had a really good time, over the bye week looking at those. But now, man, we're all locked in, ready to go and play this game against Washington.
Your focus obviously is that. Do you?
Yep.
How much at all, if at all, do you allow yourself time to focus on putting the staff together or anything else that may come?
I think those are things you always look at during the off season. They're guys that you think that meshes well with you, they're compatible with how you think and how you want to operate. I think during the season you really don't even mess with it at all because you're so locked into what you're doing. And then once the interviews start, you start to come back to some of those things, some of those people that you've talked to. You start to think about, is this a guy that I feel like I can win a Super Bowl with? And I always look at it that way.
Turn down the interview with the Patriots?
Say it again?
Can you confirm if you turn down an opportunity to interview with the Patriots, and do you feel some kind of way still about that organization because you were a Jets player?
I've never felt anything against that organization. It's just one of the best situations for me.
How do you feel this year prepared you better to be a head coach?
Man, that's a good question. Well, you know what? I'm going to go back to 21 and going into this year because we started, as we all know, 3-13-1. And then the following year, we go 1-6. But the thing that I could remember that sticks to me is our head coach, our coordinators, our coaches, we never wavered from the things that we believed in. I think that's a strong statement when you stand in front of a group of men and say, this is how you have to win. And we believe that you win this way. And those guys believed it too. And then once our owner had an interview and she backed everybody, all the coaches, that we have a formula to win and it's this close. And from then on, I think we went 8-2 into now. So here's what it taught me. We know as a staff how to build a winner. And now we know how, as a staff, how to sustain winning. So we want to continue to do that, as long as we're all here. So to answer your question, building it from the beginning and sustaining it from here on out.
As far as, typically, Bill Belichick is a shining example.
Yeah, it's the Lion Villain Report, baby. Yeah, we're going to go over some more of that. Aaron Glenn, I love the coordinators. I love doing the coordinators. I'm Russell Wayne. This is the Lion Villain Report. We're going to go over our lock picks on this on today's episode of the Villain Report.
Yo, the lies so that you never make it. Hopeless, so it seems. Eyes closed, canvas open wide to embrace your dreams. Sometimes you gotta take a loss just to get the win. Like lots of sin was popping in like oxygen when boxes wet. Focus on the mental, never lose like a smooth instrumental. Better choose on the move in a pinto. Choose when I get to, never lose smooth on the move, but it's simple. Never give up and we running it, maybe. We just keep winning, we conquering daily. Envision that pay me, it's never the sway me. Indigenous, maybe we winning this crazy. Your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity, it's your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity, it's your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity, it's your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity.
Yeah. Welcome one, welcome all, ladies and gentlemen, to the Lion Villain Report. I am your host. It's your boy, Russell Wayne, right here and right now on this Thursday morning right here. It's January the 16th, and this is our Thursday lock pick show right here. But there's not that many of these things to pick. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over some of this coordinator stuff because we're doing this a day early is what I'm finding, because we usually do the coordinator stuff on Friday, but they spoke yesterday, obviously, because the game is going to be on Saturday and not Sunday. But let's pay the bills right here. We're broadcasting live right now in the Lion Villain Squad Facebook page, as well as the Lion Villain Squad YouTube page. Please subscribe. Please get notified. We're the UDFA of sports podcasting right here. The Villain Report, 5-6 days a week, Monday through Saturday at 10 a.m. If Christopher Walken was there, he'd say the Villain Report. It's a show in the mornings about football and Detroit Lions, and you should watch it. It's at 10 a.m. in the mornings. It could be good for you. It could be good for you. And they say, oh, hell yeah. And that's what I say when we're talking about Joe Chapp and the Detroit Lions News Podcast. Thank you for letting us broadcast live into there, as well as on Roku. We are on Roku on the Huddle Sports Network. Thank you to Bill the Packer fan and Mike the Bear fan for allowing this Lion fan to come on here and clown your team a little bit, because we're better, because we're the best. We're the best in the NFC North, and now we want to see if we're the best in the NFL. That's what we're trying to do right here. But it's faith, family, and then football. We use football to spend time with our families and create memories. We don't let football use us. And we're brought to you by NFL Shop. Yeah, that's right. You can get your NFL swag or your Lions swag, your NFC North Championship swag right there. Up to 25% off scanning using the villain code right there. And thank you for supporting the undrafted free agent of sports podcasting right there, the Tom Kennedy. That's what we're doing in here. We're the Tom Kennedy. We're not the best podcast, but we're going to keep on grinding until we are. That's what I say right here. Let's get in here and say hello to everybody. Hold on, let me get the music queued up. For some reason, I love talking with a beat in the background. Let's go. What do you got? Give me some of them beats. Yeah. It's Thursday, baby. We're a couple days away from a divisional playoff game. And I'm saying hello to my friends. You can either say hello by you like that, giving them a Kirk Cousins, or
Say hello to my little friend.
we can give them the Scarface. But we got Fred in the house. You like that. We got Dwayne Keene.
Say hello to my little friend.
Mark's up in the house.
You like that.
Good morning, Davey.
You like
And Henry Gray and Tyler.
You like
Scotty Reno up in the house.
Say hello to my little friend.
I always got to give you a Scarface. Broski Bears up in the house. John's up in the house. You like that? Steve's up in the house. What up, Ross?
Say hello to my little friend.
Oh, man. I'm in a good mood. I'm in a good mood today. And I love talking football with y'all. And we're talking about some playoff games.
Playoffs?
Yes, I'm talking about playoff games.
Playoffs?
The Lion fans have woke up out of the slumber. The bye week slumber is now over. And now here come the Washington Commanders. The Lions should win this game. I mean, that's what it comes down to. You look at this, and what are you going to do? You look at this game, the odds, the bets. I know that the bets don't mean anything and the odds don't mean anything, but these guys are pretty damn smart when they talk these games. They are not the Texans and the Chiefs. I mean, we're going to go over some of these point spreads right here on this game. I'm hoping to get main event Mike on here. And we're going to go over these lock picks. There's only 4 games. We only got to pick 4 of these games. I want to talk a little bit about all of them when it comes down to it. You know, and we're talking about Coach of the Year. We talking about Coach of the Year here. DC should win. Kevin O'Connell, he was the talk. Kevin O'Connell was the talk. But that team fell apart down the stretch. And that's what you want your that's not the Coach of the Year. I don't give a shit how many regular season games you won. I mean, everybody's got to overcome something. You know, if the Lions end up being one and done, maybe we'll have that conversation. I usually like to make that opinion, but you really do got to wait and see. Lions got to get a playoff win. Here you are. You got this shot. You got the 1 seed. Everything that you worked for. Your bye week was way too early at week 5. You know that they set their sights on that. 21 injuries on injury reserve. Now, some of them have came back, but they overcame that stuff, still won 15 games. This is not the team that you want to play in the playoffs.
Playoffs?
It would be a major disappointment. There's so many gamers on this Lions team. I mean, look out NFC. There isn't anybody in the NFC. I'm more worried about Matt Stafford than anybody else in the NFC. And I should be worried about Jaden Daniels, but I think they're going to take care of business. 9.5-point favorites. Dan Campbell should win Coach of the Year. 21 guys on injured reserve. You go from 3-13 to 9-8 to 12-5 to 15-2. You're like, whatever. Eventually, I mean, I thought he kind of got robbed last year, going 3-13 to, 12-5 and to the NFC Championship. I mean, but this year, O'Connell has a little bit of a claim to it. But they fell apart, man. They had their chance to do what we're doing, to have the week off. They didn't even show up to that game. So that's it. That's it with that. That's it with all the negativity. I really enjoyed some of my favorite parts of the week with you guys is spending time with these coordinators, because I don't know, for one, how long we're going to keep these coordinators. because I do believe that this man right here, Aaron Glenn, is going to be a head coach this year. This is one guy I do believe that we may lose, but I don't know. Let's listen to some more of this, and maybe you can make that type of decision. So we're going to continue on where we left off.
A defensive coach who won Super Bowls, but typically it's offensive.
Building it from the beginning and sustaining it from here on out.
Typically, I mean, Bill Belichick is a shining example of a defensive coach who won Super Bowls, but typically it's offensive coordinators. They come from the offense who become Super Bowl head winning coaches.
Yeah.
Why do you think that might be? Is there
Well, I don't know if that's truly accurate. I can just go off the top of my head with Bill Carr, Mike Tomlin, Bill Belichick. That's won a ton of Super Bowls as a defensive coach. And here's the one thing that I would say about myself. I'm a coach. I just happen to be on defense. I understand the offense just as well as a number of people. So if you're going to hire me, you're going to hire a coach. You're not going to hire a defensive coach. I'm going to talk to the offense just as much as I'm going to talk to the defense.
Basketball, there's the idea of making a player go to his left, and that's a weakness or a way to take advantage of them. I'm wondering with a mobile quarterback, maybe they're all a little bit different, but is there ever something to that where you want, if you're going to let him get free from the pocket, you try to force him to a certain direction and play to a weakness?
Absolutely. Especially when you look at his rush pattern and the way he tries to escape from the pocket. If there's a guy that really wants to escape to his right or to his left, you try not to let him escape that way for the most part. But as you see, this league is trending toward all these quarterbacks that they're just so athletic that it's hard for your defensive lineman to try to contain these guys. So you have to do a lot as far as being disciplined in your rush. Obviously sending more people at him so you can make sure you close up as many lanes as you can. And man, we try our best to do that. And against Kyle, I think we did a really good job. Obviously, Buffalo, we didn't do as good a job. We expect to do a really good job this week against Jayden.
I'm glad that you expect to do a good job, Mr. Glenn. I appreciate that. I appreciate that more than you know. But he's talking about the escapability of Aaron. Aaron Glenn's talking about the escapability of Jayden Daniels, and where they have some tendencies. So I guess when you look at the tape here, you're looking at a guy who likes to escape to the right. You want to plug up them holes and remain in the gap. You know, everybody's got to be disciplined. But he's going to talk more about that. Let's get more into it.
The team has earned a reputation for being aggressive on fourth down. You know, with Dan Campbell's play call. What does that
For our team?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What does that do for you in the moment, and how did that affect you in your game plan in the middle of the game?
Listen, this is what I teach our guys from OTAs in the training camp. Anytime we have a sudden change, say if we don't make a fourth down, say if our offense throws an interception, they have a fumble or whatnot, man, it's more TV time for us. All right, so we look forward to going on the field. So every time you see something like that happens, our guys immediately run on the field because that's the mindset. So listen, we're behind our head coach 100%. I actually believe in that. So I'm not surprised. I know everybody else is surprised, but I'm not surprised. The players are not surprised. The coaches are not surprised. We're just ready to play. Whatever happens, we're behind them.
This is the team that you're playing that goes for it.
Absolutely.
So we've seen how it impacts an offense when you're using all four downs. Defensively, when you play against a team like that, if at all, how does it change when you're playing four downs in defense? I guess.
Yes. So now you look at what they're going to do on third down. All right. They might really opens up their offense because they might tend to run the ball more on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6 because they know they're going for it on fourth down. So we have to be in tune to that, and that comes from film study. So we've done a good job of understanding who this head coach is, how they try to operate, to try to make sure we prepare for all those things.
Yeah. I love that. You know, I feel like that I learn more by listening to the coaches. And I love having these type of coaches because I don't think that all coordinators are like that. You can correct me if I'm wrong, Broski, or whoever else is out there from the other fan bases. But like these teachable moments where they actually answer these questions that isn't just coach speak. You know, when you're talking about the philosophy of trying to stop somebody that goes for it a lot on 4th down, which means that like on 3rd and 11, on 3rd and 8, that you're running the football, you know, because you already have the mentality that you're going to go for it on 4th down. So he's talking about the idea of defending that, which is, hey, it's 3rd down and 8. These guys might run the football. We need to be ready. We need to be disciplined in there and not be on our heels and get blown off the block. You know, it's a lot different handling some offensive lineman that's peeling back to pass protect or moving forward to, run you over. So you got to be prepared for that. That's awesome. That's awesome. That's good stuff, Glenn. Thank you.
When you talk about Jaden Daniels being a rookie quarterback, how impressed are you in terms of his mental game? Are there things that he does that you don't see often from rookie quarterbacks? And how do you?
Absolutely. His demeanor and how calm he is, I mean, it pops out like all over the TV copy when you watch the TV copy. And another thing that pops out is he's having fun playing this game, which we all should. But you can tell that he's having fun, and there's no better way to play this game when you're in a situation where you're having fun. I mean, obviously winning has a lot to do with that, but his ability to go make plays, even when he doesn't make plays, right? He's having fun playing the game. And I think that's one of the reasons why he's so successful. He's not taking this for more than what it is. He understands what his skill set is, and he's utilizing everybody on that offense to make him better. It's almost like he's trying to be a point guard. He's just delivering and leading.
Woo! Ooh, don't you love that one? The point guard. He's saying that Jaden Daniels is like the point guard. You know, you let things break down, and then you're just distributing. You let your playmakers be the playmakers. I love that. That's good stuff. That's good stuff.
Came back last week, and what did he bring to you guys, and how did you feel he played after the rust?
Listen, he's our captain. Anytime your captain's gone, you lose a little something. And obviously when he comes back, you gain something. He understands me to a T. He understands how I'm going to call the game. He studies the game plan just as well as anybody. And if something goes down with my mic, he knows exactly what AG is going to call. And he does a good job with that. And we have so much conversation on, like, how do I see it, that he understands how I'm going to call the game.
That's talking about Alex Anzalone right there. And it's like Alex Anzalone, to me, is like one of those guys, like, you didn't notice that he was gone until he came back. You did notice that he was gone, but we had so many injuries. You're like, oh my God, we have so many injuries. We're trying to overcome this, overcome that. We kind of understood where it came from, you know, because there were so many of the injuries. And Alex Anzalone was one of those injuries. But you really noticed it when he came back. You really noticed it when he came back, just from like everybody being in the right spot. And it's not that Jack Campbell was doing a bad job, but it's almost like having two of those types of players out there running around. That's a lot better. And you definitely noticed it when Alex Anzalone came back, even with, you know, having a cast on his arm. I mean, he was a beast. He was a beast. He was lining everybody up, getting everybody in the right checks. So that's good insight right there.
Rob Bowman did with bringing in different guys when you guys had all those injuries.
Yeah.
How critical was that to get to this point?
I think everybody will attest to the first thing I would always say is how good our personnel department has done a good job of bringing guys in that fit us. Not just bring guys in, but guys that fit us. Because at some point, when you start to bring so many guys in and they have to play the following week, it's not about the playbook, it's the play style. And these guys fit our style. So I'm always praise those men. They do a really good, and women that's over there. They do a really good job of getting us the type of players we need.
Warren, what makes him so good? He's been so consistent in his career, but this year his touchdown production has gone off the,
Well, Jaden Downs had a lot to do with that. But he's highly, highly competitive. He does a really good job on 50-50 balls, which you wouldn't think that he would because of his stature, but he does a really good job of that. He's always been a good player. We've been to get this player several times. But that's the one thing that really stands out is his competitive nature. He kind of reminds me how Saint goes about, because he will block. He'll go across the middle. He'll take hits. He'll get back up, get back to the huddle. So he's a gamer. He's a gamer. So it doesn't surprise me the success he's had.
Yeah, talking about Terry McLaurin right there. I mean, if you watch this guy play, I mean, he could take a game over. And Terry McLaurin, I mean, that is a tall order. I don't know who's going to be out there on him. That could be a good matchup for Amik Robertson. They're the similar play styles, because I don't think McLaurin's a giant receiver. I think that he plays big. But Terry McLaurin will make contested catches. Like, he's a beast. He's a beast. He's been a beast. I have him on my fantasy football team, and thank you. Thank you, Terry McLaurin. But it don't matter no more, so we need to shut you down. We need to shut you down. Don't let that point guard get him the ball. So that's a big order. That's a big order for our secondary.
He did a podcast recently where he praised you in your leadership development and kind of just vouched for you and with the job you've been doing as well. Some of your other players as well. Just talk about that leadership development and also seeing your players vouch for you and say some of the things that they've been saying as well.
Listen, here's how I sum up leadership. There's really one word. It's influence. And everybody that I come in contact with, I want to influence them in some positive way. And I don't take that for granted when it comes to players, because that's my responsibility. It's almost the same as my children. I want to make sure that everybody that I come in contact with, that when they leave AG, that they have something positive to say. And it's not always going to be like that, because I do get pissed off at people too. But to me, that's what I want to impart on every player that I come across with, even the players that end up leaving here. I want to impart something positive into them, so as they go about their way, that I've taught them something that can make them a better person and a better player. Okay? Thank you.
Yep, right there. That's Aaron Glenn. I love that. I mean, he's going to make a great head coach. Honestly, I look at Aaron Glenn and he's got the right mentality. And he gave me a couple of hints that he might stay too. They're looking for the perfect situations. And I mean, he shot that New England job right down. I mean, for whatever reason, he says it wasn't a personal thing, but I think that they're looking for a very specific thing. And I think that the hardest transition from going from a coordinator or any type of other coach to being a head coach is you have to replace yourself for one, and you have to have the entire, it isn't just one person, you have to have an idea who your offensive and defensive coordinator are going to be, what type of general manager that you want, what type of ownership you're going to work with, who's going to be your defensive backs coach, who's going to be your linebackers coach. That's a lot of planning. And there's one thing that is evident about the way that the Lions have done it is that was there was a clear vision of what they wanted. and they didn't pull any punches. You know, the Anthony Lynn, it's not like Anthony Lynn sucks. Anthony Lynn just wasn't right for where the vision of where we're going. The Lions finally have a brand of football. I'm just going back here through some of the comments here. It looks like, is it wrong to feel overconfident? Let me get it back in here. Yeah, I think Dan Campbell should be coach of the year. Yeah, I think so. Lions sweep in the division. I mean, what the Lions have overcame to get to 15-2. Beating everybody in the division, but not just beating everybody in the division, the way that we did it. You know, we lost Aiden Hutchinson, and then a week later gave Minnesota their first loss. And I don't know if it was a week later, maybe it was 2 weeks later. But regardless, it's like they've overcame. I mean, everyone, I listen to everybody else, you know, making excuses, talking about, you know, this guy's injured, that guy, you know, Packer fans. It's like, oh, well, you wouldn't have done anything if we would have had Jair. It's like, shut up. We had 21 guys on injured reserve and finished 15-2. I mean, you watch these guys that step up, you know. I'm learning because I haven't had the privilege of, you know, watching too many of Lions teams that had this DNA in it. But it's the depth guys. It's the guys that are making $800,000 a year that make the difference. You know, if you're coaching them well and they're ready to go to come in when injuries happen, those are the teams that are the best teams. It's not the team with the best players. Sometimes the best players will help you win. But as a whole, it's like this 18-week gauntlet followed by, you know, 4 weeks of playoff massacre. And the bodies have to make it through that, and they got to do that with 53 guys with, you know, another whatever, you know, 21 guys or whatever, the extension of the roster, whatever the practice squad is. You got to go to war, you know? That's what these guys are doing. I don't envy any of those guys. Well, I envy them from the point of, yeah, that's my team. But, man, what they put their bodies through. And, you know, lots of guys make the ones that make the headlines of the $50 million quarterbacks and everything like that. But that's not most of them. Most of the guys are blue chippers, man. The undrafted free agents. I mean, I'm sure I'd like to have that salary, but what they have to do to get that, that's got to be hard. It takes more grit. Right, Central Scrutinizer? You like that? It takes more grit. We'll be talking about these games this weekend. Let's talk about some of the other games. And I'll give you my pick. And I want to know what your pick is. But you want to start over on the AFC side? Might as well. Right? The divisional round. Sharon. The Houston Texans travel to Arrowhead. The Houston Texans travel to Arrowhead to take on the Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, there's no way that Houston goes into Arrowhead and wins, right? Is that possible? That they go into that you take CJ Stroud, is taking his boys, taking them into Arrowhead to try to do the unthinkable. Now the 8.5 points, that's interesting. So the Vegas line, when you're talking more than a touchdown, that's a blowout. They expecting the Kansas City Chiefs to come in menace to society style, curb stomp, all done, took care of that thing for you, right?
We're going to bite a kneecap off.
But that Houston Texans team, you know, CJ Stroud, when he's got Nico Collins out there, and then Joe Mixon, it's a young team, ascending team. Will Anderson, Daniil Hunter. Can they contain Patrick Mahomes? I mean, they won 15 games too. And it seems like they could have lost like 8 of them. Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. That's what Jesse the Body Ventura used to say. Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. So 8.5 points. But is this going to be one of those uninteresting divisional playoff games where the 1 seed just takes the dump truck, backs it up, meep, meep, meep. Does it come down to the Mahomes magic? Let's see what we got in here now. Henry Gray says that he's going to take the Texans. Or shall I say, I want the Texans to win. You think there's any chance that CJ Stroud can go into Arrowhead in that environment and knock the 2-time reigning, defending Super Bowl champions, going for a 3-peat, get knocked off in the division round? CJ Stroud, he's the one. I could not subscribe to that. I could not subscribe to that. Honestly, it's like I'm hurt. I'm hurt with thinking that teams can get the points. Because last week, there's no way Buffalo's gonna, like 9.5 points or something like that. It's like, it's just too much. Just too much. But the good teams are just laying the smackdown and they're just taking care of business. I think that the Texans are a good team. But I think that the Kansas City Chiefs, especially in playoff time, is a great team. And I think that's going to shine. Andy Reid's defense forced CJ Stroud in that offense into a couple mistakes. Patrick Mahomes is Patrick Mahomes. They take care of business. Double-digit win. I'm going to take the Kansas City Chiefs, and I'm going to lay the 8.5 points. Yep, you heard it. Get your points in there. Make sure you put it in there against the points. I'm pretty sure that the Kansas City Chiefs are going to win. It's the points that Vegas be talking about. They expect it. They're expecting that. All right, moving on. We'll save that best for last right there. Let's go to one of the NFC matchups here. We got the Detroit Rams. I wonder if is there any jackasses out there that are going into this playoffs like they have two dogs in the race? You're a disgrace. You're a disgrace. There are no Detroit Rams. But this could very, man, out of the two teams that are right there, I mean, while we're doing this, it's the Rams +6 in Philly. Getting 6 points in Philly. The Matt Staffords. But are you more scared of Matt Stafford in the NFC Championship game? Or would you be more scared of the Eagles? While I'm chewing on this for a minute, the LA Rams. My thoughts and prayers go out to all of the people that are out there in their homes, losing their homes. Mother Nature. Doing some Mother Nature. It's crazy how that stuff can spread like that. It blows my mind. I look at some of those videos and it's crazy. I wish I had like a dump truck full of money to help. I wish there was something that could be done like that. And I'm glad that some of the people that have money to impact are taking care of business. I know that Sheila Hamp did her thing. Kudos to you. But the LA Rams, Philadelphia Eagles, Jalen Hurts. I mean, this is a hurt team. They go all the way to the Super Bowl and lose. Last year they underachieved. They should have known better hiring Matt Patricia. They knew that was the kryptonite to any team. But I think in this one, I'm going to take the Rams. I'm going to take the points. Matt Stafford just has this thing about him. We remember it. That even in a loss, there were so many losses that were really, really close. Matt Stafford almost did it. Matt Stafford's usually in a game where he almost gets you or he does get you. So this is going to be a closer game. I think it's going to be decided by a field goal. So I'm going to take the Rams and the points, even though I think that the Eagles are going to take care of business. And I think they're going to win a close game. Mark G says you never count out Stafford. If the offensive line holds up for him, he can pick the defense apart. Absolutely. So get that in there. Hey, you are watching the Lion Villain Report. This is the divisional round lock pick edition right here. So far, I'm going to take Kansas City and lay some 9.5 points. And I'm going to take the LA Rams. I'm going to get points on that one. And right there. And we're brought to you by NFL Shop. You can scan that QR code, save up to 25% off of your order. It's just not for Lions stuff. Whatever team you follow, use that link. It may land you on a Detroit Lions page, but whatever. But thank you to our affiliate marketing partners at NFL Shop. Right there, I got the Rams, baby. Rams +6. And then let's go back over to the AFC. We're saving the best for last. The main event is your Detroit Lions. But third on the slate right here, you got the Baltimore Ravens going to Buffalo and laying 1.5. Josh Allen versus Lamar Jackson, MVP candidate number 1 versus MVP candidate number 2. Going in there, Lamar Jackson. I mean, I think that the Baltimore Ravens have the better team all the way around. But the Buffalo Bills laying points at home. Josh Allen is a cyborg. And Baltimore has yet to prove to me or anyone else on planet Earth that they can win a big game. That Lamar Jackson throws up nice stats during the regular season, but your 2 playoff wins are to like Ryan Tannehill and I don't know. I don't know who the second one was. Ryan Tannehill is one of the 2 playoff wins that he has. I think Mason Rudolph might be the other one. So Josh Allen, we'll see. We'll see in this game. I think they have better running game. I think Derrick Henry will be the determining factor if Baltimore is to win the game, but I think Buffalo is going to win this game. So I'm going to take Buffalo, and I'm going to take that 1.5. I think they're going to take care of business. I think Josh Allen might find himself in the Super Bowl. I have to think like that. That's the only other loss the Lions had on the schedule. So there you go. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. Give me the Bills. Give me the 1.5. Henry agrees with me. All right, let's see where everybody's at with this. Yep. Under 51.5. Yep. Henry's taking the Bills. One funky Lion fan. Bills Mafia wins this one. All right, that's with the central scrutinizer. There you go. Bills Mafia. But if Lamar lay an egg, Jackson in the playoff now, up, and they're done for. Yeah, that's the thing. Lamar's got to get it done in crunch time. He's got to get it done when it matters, when the marbles are all on the line. He hasn't proven that he can beat any good quarterbacks. You get in these shootouts. Here's the game right here. You want to get over? You want to get over? Here it is. Lamar Jackson, if you beat Josh Allen in Buffalo, then that's one of those, those things that you can check the box of. All right. Beat good team on the road in the playoffs. Check. You want to be able to say that you can do that. Maybe get to host a playoff game if you can get lucky and have Houston be in there. You might have a clear run to the playoffs there. Hosting that game. Do it up. There you go. The swag. Get the swag, baby. Get the swag. Even if you're a Raven fan, go get that swag. You can click off of the Detroit Lions one. There you go. Brought to you by NFL Shop. All right. They'd be the last pick right here. Saving the best for the save the best for last. This is a Lions show. As we should. Lions are laying 9.5 points. They're laying 9.5 points on. That's crazy. The Washington Commanders. And Jaden Daniels. Why are they laying 9.5 points? No, to me, the bigger question is to the pundits out there and the people that think that the Washington Commanders have a chance in this game. Ask yourself that question. Why are they laying 9.5 points? It's not because your team is bad, because your team isn't bad. You have a good team, Commanders. Jaden Daniels might be him. It's your defense. And our strength is the offense. So in this game, you are going to have to keep up with a very, very, very fast horse. And I don't know if you have the horses to last 4 quarters with horses like we have. So that's why I told myself earlier, I got burnt. I picked against the Lions one time on the points. I got burnt one time on the points. And I felt so horrible that I even picked against them because I would have won just by sticking with them. Now, there's a couple that I would have lost, but I'm going to take the Lions and I'm going to lay the 9.5 points. I think that there are 53 caged Lions that are waiting in Ford Field right now for this team that supposedly wants Detroit. You want Detroit? Well, you want the Thunder? You called down the Thunder? Well, now you got it. Tell Penei Sewell that anybody on that side is going to stop the Detroit Lions from hosting an NFC championship game. Because you want to talk about crossing things off the list. They keep on popping up over and over and over again. And there's only a couple more things that they need to cross off the list, and they can get crossed. They can get crossed off the list. The Lions have never hosted an NFC championship game. You want to talk about the thing of legend right there. Yeah, I'll take the Detroit Lions minus 9.5. Give it to me. I don't care. Call me a homer. I don't care. I've been going that way. I've been getting my bets on that. I've been riding with the Lions. Even with the points. They've been doing better than that. That's the thing. There are some teams that can keep up with us. For a little bit. For a little bit. And then that Lamborghini just shows you that fifth gear. You don't have that fifth gear. You ain't got that fifth gear, do you? Nope. We have 2 speed machines. Lamborghinis. Jahmyr Gibbs and Jamison Williams. Eat, my friends. Eat. I'm sorry, Commander fans. I will come on here and eat all the crow. I'll be the saddest person in the world if the Lions lose this game. And I don't know. I'm not sure where Mike is today. I think that we're having technical difficulties. Because I do need to know what his lock picks are. He might have to do his own. He might have to come in there and do a Mike video about what his lock picks are going to be. But one thing is for sure, where you are going to get Mike is on Monday night. He will be back in the flesh doing his Monday night show, 7 p.m. He's either talking about a playoff win or he's talking about a playoff loss. One way or another. It's in there. But, yeah, the Lions need to take care of business. That's what this is, baby. Going into the divisional round. Thank you for being part of the lock picks, by the way. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, hit them in there. Henry Gray's got this lock pick right here. That's the lock pick. Lions by 10 or more. I'm going all in too. I'm going to take that as my lock pick. I'll take that as my lock pick as well, Henry. I'm riding with my Lions all the way. And they need to take care of business. You know, you can't stumble to this. The Commanders ain't the ones. The Commanders are on the track, and the train is coming through. Gonna run all over this team. The offense is gonna be having fun by the end of the game. I'm not saying they're gonna have fun the whole game. But the offense is going to be having fun at the end of the game because everything's going to be working because they can't stop the run. They're not going to be able to stop our run. Going to move them out of the way. It'll break my heart if they stop the run because that's what we are, you know. Can't have the first team taking us out of our identity. We run the football, and everything's going to get set up off of that. Amon-Ra St. Brown remembers that De'Ami Brown was selected before him. He's going to look across that field, and he's going to see that. He selected him before me. He's going to make him pay. Amon-Ra St. Brown's going to have a big game. Gibbs and Montgomery are going to have a big game. About to show the nation in the divisional round
we're going to bite a kneecap off.
And I feel it. I feel it. The Facebook comments are coming through, Tyler. Let me look through here and see what I missed of yours. Lions win 41-24. I like that call. I like that call right there because I could honestly see this. Tyler, check this out. We're picturing this, right? At the end of the first half, it's 24-21 with the Commanders on top. And then the Lions drag them out into the deep end and finish them off like they do all the other teams. They can't last. That's what happens. The offense and the defense figures it out. And then we have the players to execute it. And once they figure it out, once they crack the code, it's over. It's like that's a game that could be close like that. The Lions could be up 24-21, you know, and then hold them to a field goal for the rest of the game. That's the type of deal that they play. Teams can hang. Even the good teams, they hang. But we have big dogs in the trenches, especially on the offensive line, that they don't want to be seeing us. Those defenses don't want to see Penei Sewell and Frank Ragnow in the fourth quarter. They get all huffy and they're all pumped up when they get into the game. You know, maybe stop us on a couple of series, and that's all you can hope to do. Even Buffalo, they stopped us on the first two series, and that was it. Lions scored on every other possession, even though they lost the game. They scored 41 points and lost. The offense has not stopped being unstoppable, even with the best defenses that are out there. 38-20. That one sounds logical too. There's a lot of all or nothing that's going to be done with this. So these are actually the two top fourth down, go for it, gambling guys. Did you say that the line moved right here? I'm not looking at this. I didn't see the line didn't move on this site. The line for that, the line's been 9.5 on at least on DraftKings since the beginning. And I mean, it is what it is, man. Like the Commanders already have a great story. They can end their season even if the Lions punk them. They're going to end their season, and they're going to have hope for the following season. You got Jaden Daniels is a stud. If you're a Commanders fan, you got Terry McLaurin. You got a good running game. You know, you go out, you spend some money in the free agency, and you're building off of that. You got a franchise quarterback on a rookie contract for probably 3 more years before you have to go and, you know, open up the bank. Yeah, Washington's feeling good, but you don't have enough horses. You don't have enough horses. And not only do you not have enough horses, our horses are hungry. Hungry as lions. Yeah. Well, I don't know where it started at 7.5. But it wasn't DraftKings. I mean, that may have been the opening line, like the first, 5 hours, but then the money goes on it. The money's hitting. If you got it at 7.5, did you get it at 7.5 Central Scrutinizer? If you got it at 7.5, kudos to you for getting it at 7.5. That's a good line. That's a good line getting it low. I don't think that Washington's going to win this game. I don't see a path for that. And I even see Jaden Daniels doing what Jaden Daniels. I see him being electric. But I also see them being able to force him into a couple of mistakes that he's going to have to learn from. We have a well-oiled machine on offense. I'm not worried about that. I'm not worried about that. You are watching the Lion Villain Report with your host, Russell Wayne. Brought to you by NFL Shop, our affiliate marketing partners. Broadcasting live into our Facebook page at Lion Villain Squad. Just got over 60,000. And we're going to have Leon Phelps. He's going to be here with us all the way up until 70,000. Yeah. It's been great to have the ladies and the Cavaquier and the winning. Yeah. The ladies get so excited about the winning. Yeah. It's a Lions Villain Report. You should watch it. It's a good show. It's 10 a.m. with Russell Wayne. He's a good friend. 10 a.m. Could be good for you. It could be good for you. It could be good for your life. The Villain Report on Roku, the Huddle Sports Network. Thank you. Thank you to Joe Chap. Thank you. Thank you. We are the UDFA of sports podcasting. That's right. We may not be the best podcast, but we're going to be grinding until we are. Like, comment, share. That helps us get up in the algorithm. Thank you for hanging out with us, especially the live crew. I love it when the live crew hangs out. We had over 5,000 people watch yesterday's program. But I do appreciate the ones that come on here that are hitting it up live. As I go through some of the everyday people like the Central Scrutinizer, Henry Gray, Mark G up in the house. Tyler stuck around all the way to the end. John stuck around all the way to the end. Southwest. Mr. and Mrs. Southwest right there. Big trick play. They're coming through. Yes, Tyler, the Facebook comments are coming through. Mark G, one funky Lions fan. Lions are eating. But thank you to everybody that participated in today's program. Because we got the faith, we got the family, and then we got the football. We do it in that order. It's important. That way I can like Packer fans. I don't have to take it too seriously. You know, I can like you. You know what? I can hate your football team. I can't help your team sucks. But I don't have to hate the person. Like you, broski. Maybe one day you'll have a good football team like mine. But that just isn't right now. It is what it is. Oh, gosh. How times have changed a little bit around here. We use football to spend time with our family. We use football to create memories. We don't let football use us. So thank you, everybody, for popping on the broadcast today. May the Lord bless you. May the Lord keep you. May the Lord shine his face upon you until we meet again in Jesus' name. Amen. All right. Tomorrow's show, Friday. We're talking more about the dude. I love talking playoff football.
Playoffs?
I love talking about it because when we get into the off season, it's going to be the same type of stuff. What are we going to do? We can get into all of that stuff. But right now, let's feed the energy. Let's feed it. Faith, family, and football, baby. God bless you guys. I'm hoping to see you guys for the Friday edition of the Villain Report.
Hey, yo, the lies so that you never make it. Hopeless, so it seems. Eyes closed, candles open wide to embrace your dreams. Sometimes you gotta take a loss just to get the win. Like Lysosin was popping in like oxygen when boxes wet. Focus on the mental, never lose like smooth instrumental. Better choose on the move in a pinto. Choose when I get to, never lose smooth on the move, but it's simple. Never give up and we running it, maybe. We just keep winning, we conquering daily. Envision that pay me, it's never to sway me. Indigenous, maybe we winning this crazy. Your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity, this your opportunity, your opportunity.